Hello, everyone. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Prophetess Wendy, and I'm here to share a revelation, a dream that I had from the Lord. I titled this dream, The U.S. Army Killing Its Own. I had this dream April 22nd, 2024. And in this dream, majority of the dream, I was basically a participant in the dream, whether it was me who was physically there or I took the persona of someone else. I'm not sure, but I was literally going through the motions in this dream. I was not just an onlooker. At some point I became at the end, but through the whole process, I was going through the process as is. Okay. So the U.S. Army killing its own. April 2022, 2024. This dream was so real. It was so real. It's like we were at some type of training base. While we were there, I remember many of us sitting on what seems to be like a bleachers. So, when you go to this, I say like the sports park, maybe like baseball, where your children are playing baseball, and then you have like the seating, like the brick seating, row by row. So I call it the bleachers. So we were sitting on those brick stair by stair where you have seatings, one above the other, behind the other, behind the other. I described it this way because there were many stair-like seats in a row. And the guy at the head, at least he was the one giving the instructions to us who were sitting down. They did a few rows before they got to our row. And as they were working their way up, I was very concerned because of what the leader was having us do. This guy who was the leader, a white guy who was wearing a shirt that had that symbol of the pyramid and the all-seeing eye. As soon as I saw it, I knew I didn't want to do what he was telling us to do, which was reciting a chant of some kind, but this chant was not in English. I am not sure what language it was. He would say it piece by piece, as the person would repeat it. If you completed the chant, you would be able to sit back down. As they got to the row I was in, there was a person sitting on the outside of me. It was their turn. They decided they wouldn't say the chant, and because they didn't, someone came and used a sharp knife and slashed them on both their legs. So on their thighs, they just used the knife and just shh, and it split their leg. Not wide open, but you know what I mean. They had scars. This person was still standing at attention to seem unbothered, even though I could clearly see the wound on their leg. The leader guy moved onto me, and I also decided to not say the chant, as I didn't know what it was about, and it wasn't in English for me to even understand what I was saying. They decided to slash my leg also. They moved on, and about 6 of us in that row didn't want to recite what he was having us recite. Because of that, they decided to dismiss us, and we all were getting ready to leave when all of a sudden we were being attacked by throwing stars. The throwing stars that I am referring to it's called shuriken. I think they use it in those kung fu movies. It looks like a star, but they usually use it to fight when they just sh out on you like this. So it's called shuriken. These are silver star like knives something you would see in a ninja movie. We started running for the hills, as it seems as if we were at a place where it was in a wilderness area. Now, mind you, the people who are being attacked are only those who did not recite that chant, right? We did not recite what he was telling us to recite. So we were the ones who were being attacked, okay? So we ran for the hills, where we were at a place where it was in it looks like we were in a wilderness area. So it was like an isolated space that the base of the training camp was. So we ran into the hills in that wilderness area. We all split up, but as I was running, I heard chopper, like helicopters, and fighter jets over my head. And I remember hiding in a mountain hole that was covered with bush twigs. But then I noticed that those shuriken was being fired out in droves. That means this wasn't like a person who was throwing them. It was one of those fighter jets or the chopper that had something that was just automatically just sending them. So being in the woods, being where all these trees are, it's hard for them to just see you, even though there's also people on foot coming after us. They were overhead just shooting these things out, hoping to disarm us or to delay us so they can actually do something more. The place that I hid in the hole is like, you know, when you see it on movies, where the army personnel is hiding and they're using like a decoy cover to blend in with their garments, right? It was like that, one of those holes that I hid in. It had the bush covering it and all that, so they couldn't see me. But because the shurikens were coming, they were coming through those bushes, and I decided excuse me, I had to move. I decided to move, and I entered a cave. I saw two people there, looks like native of the place. That means where we were, there was not a bunch of people that lived in that area, but there were few people that stayed close by. And I saw they were not from the army or in the army. They were really children. They were gathering their meals for the day. So they came and they left as they saw me coming. So they're close by the base, but we were up in the woods. So I guess I entered a place where it's closer to where the natives are. I told them to go. Then I heard footsteps coming my way, and I wanted to run, but then I saw a dead body on the ground. Seems to be there for a long time. It was under dirt, but the impression of the person features was evident. It didn't stink. I decided to lay overlap the dead body so I can pretend to be dead also. The soldiers looking for us came in the cave and saw us, and I heard one saying, "Oh, that's another one," as referring to another one who wouldn't comply and they had to kill. So basically the dead body that I met in the cave on the ground was a person like me who perhaps never said the chant, then went running in the hills. They caught him, and he was a goner. They made sure of it. So the guy is telling the other guy that that's another one. That one we had to do away with because he also didn't comply. I could hear myself breathing and was worried that they would know that I was alive. They kept inspecting me. Something else happened at this scene, but I can't quite remember what. Then the scene switched. Now I'm an onlooker. And one of the guys who have escaped with us was now back at the base looking for a girl. This girl is also a part of the army. This guy I saw was black. He was not wearing his uniform. He took it off. Seems like he was wearing some type of plastic bag, black, and he had a phone talking to someone saying how he had to take someone's gut to mend his own. So basically, out of all of us that ran, somebody else got hit with one of those shuriken, or many of them. So that person passed away. He also got hit with the shuriken, but his gut was damaged, meaning maybe it was cut open. And he's saying that he had to take a piece of the other person who already passed gut to mend his own, to keep him alive, to keep himself alive. A guy walked up to him to ask him what he was doing there, and he told him he gave the name. I don't remember what the lady's name was, but he told the guy the name of the person he was looking for. And the guy went to go find the girl, and he brought her back. He was telling her about the others who needed her help, and she told him to wait. She would be back. Then I woke up. So basically, what the Lord was showing me, that when the people who enlist into the army, they go training, there are things that are happening that they're making them do, and if they don't do it, then repercussions is that they will be hunted down and killed. So there's many people who their children has gone into the army and came back in a body bag to be said that they were brave men and women and they fought for their country and they died in battle and all that. But it's not true. Not that they're not brave, and not that they never fought, but the stories are not always the truth. What is being depicted here is that when you're not complying with what they're telling you to do, which clearly is some sort of demonic ritual, because like I said, the guy, he was wearing a t-shirt of a pyramid with an all-seeing eye in it. Everybody knows, well, everyone should know what that represents, right? It's on the US dollar, so you should know it, right? Then, when we didn't comply with reciting something we don't understand, we were then hunted down to be killed. The people who didn't make it because they were killed, is either they're going to say they cannot find the body, or sometimes they will ship the body back or deliver the body to the family with that silly flag that cannot replace your child or your children, and to say in honor, we honor this person. Mind you, they're the one who is killing them. Majority of the time, the people in the army goes, they're not being killed by the opposition, the people who they're fighting against. They're setting them up and killing them, and then blaming it on those that they're supposedly fighting against. But it's a lie. That's what the Lord is bringing out. It's a lie. The army is killing its own. So those who are enlisting, those who they're recruiting, when they get into the recruitment, when they get into the army to training, and they come to realize that there's certain things that they have to do, if they want to back out of it, then it depends on what it is, they will not get out alive. They will not get out alive. So that's it. So if you have children in the army, the Lord is wanting all his people to get out of the army, really. And if you have children who are insisting on enlisting, please, whatever you can do, pray. Ask them, tell them why they shouldn't go. Now, I know every child is not going to listen to telling, but nonetheless, If you do your part, the Lord will do his part. And if there's nothing you can do, it is what it is. But still try to deter them from going into the army. Deter them. It is not safe, especially for people like us. Black people, it is not safe. Brown people, it is not safe. Okay? Got it. Okay, that's it for today, or for this video. Bye. See you guys later.